Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the unboxing and review of the Mystical Shaman Oracle by quite a few authors actually. Alberto Bioldo, Colette Baron-Reed, and Marcela Lobos. Illustrated by Jenna Della Grottaglia. Now that's actually, what I love about this deck is that it really looks like it was an international creation. That's pretty cool, right? Colette Baron-Reed is a pretty famous deck creator. She's created quite a few other decks with Hay House. If you don't know who she is, you can definitely Google her. She'll come up, and a lot of her decks will come up as well. So let's get into it. So I know this deck has been out for a while, but it's been on my radar, and I have another shaman deck, which is called the Shamanic Medicine Oracle, and I love that deck. So I was like, oh, should I get this one? But I finally took the leap, and of course I got it. It's right here. It's really beautiful, and I've just really wanted to work and play with it. So this is the box. It's a pretty big box. If you're familiar with the Yogic Path Oracle and also the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits and also the Wild Unknown Tarot, they come in a box like this. It's a pretty big box, honestly. So we have the three masters and healers, Alberto Bioldo, Colette Baron-Reed, and Marcela Lobos. And it shows here a little bit of the biography. So Alberto Bioldo is an anthropologist, studied shamanic healing practices of the Amazons and the Andes. Interesting. He's the founder of the Four Winds Society. Then we have Colette Baron-Reed, who's a respected, spiritual intuitive, psychic medium, educator, and oracle expert. She's a founder of the Oracle School. And also Marcela Lobos has been initiated in the healing and spiritual traditions of the Amazon and the Andes as well, just like him. Actually, it says here, she's a co-founder. She's a senior staff member at the Four Winds Society and co-founder with Alberto Bioldo in South America. So that's really cool. So anyway, this... Actually, let's read the top paragraph here. This actually looks really interesting. Legends say that before there was time, before there was language, there were sacred symbols. The medicine wheel, the curse, the eagle, the jaguar, and others spoke to us intimately. In their countless manifestations, they offered hope, expressed caution, illuminated opportunity, inspired creation, courted power, and shared knowledge. The sacred symbols belong to the realm of archetypes and the collective unconscious, the spiritual common ground shared by peoples, modern and ancient. Another thing that really drove me to this deck, and this is more of my personal journey. I know that I think a lot of us tend to look at the shaman word as like a Native American thing. And there are shamans kind of all over the world, right? It's not only to Native American, it's actually to Native peoples. So in the Philippines, right? In Asia, in Africa, in South America, in Europe, right? If you go back to like the Norse, the beginning of the Norse pagans and Germanic religions, they had shamans, right? They had shamans like in their native traditions. And recently I've been really connecting with my ancestors. So when I saw the Mystical Shaman, I was like, this, you know what? This deck goes beyond just... Actually, let's look at it. So it just feels like it goes beyond just a Native American. And it encompasses a lot of like what a shaman kind of works with. It makes it a bit more international. So here we go. So the issues with these boxes is that they're a little bit like layered. So we have this, which is the piece of paper, and then we have the actual box, right? Quite beautiful, quite simple, nothing too crazy about it. Again, like I said, if you know the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit by Kim Krans, or if you have the Yogic Path, they came this way. They came with a paper like that, and they also came in a box like that. It's magnetic flap, opens. Before there was time, before there was language, there were sacred symbols. And here we have a ribbon. You lift it, you get your book, and you lift it a little more, and you get your deck. Now, I know a lot of people kind of get pissed off that it's a box within a box. I get it, because it's not economical, right? We're wasting so much cardboard and paper. So I get that completely, right? This book could have perhaps been made, I mean, it is a pretty thick book. It's a proper book, right? But perhaps it could have been made a little bit smaller in design to fit the box, and the box could have been a little bit thicker. I don't know. But they decided to go this way. I'm not too bothered by it, because here's what I do personally. I take this box and I save this with my other decks. Books that are like pretty big like this, I actually leave them in my bookshelf. I have a little section of bookshelf that are just like Oracle and Tarot big books, big guidebooks. And then this box, either I use it to decorate, like I decorate the box itself, I draw on it, I paint on it. Perhaps I take this paper out and I put it for recycling, and I use the box just as like a storage thing. Or if I already have quite a few of those, I will put this in recycle. I will recycle this. So that's it. You know, I know that people are bothered by it. I understand it. I get a little bit bothered too, but it's all paper, good, thank goodness, so we can all recycle. Let's look at the book. Okay. So like I said, it's a proper book. We have, I do love this color though. This color is beautiful. We have 137 pages. That's not bad. We have about the authors. Anything here? Yeah, so we got 3 pages of about the authors. Let's go to the beginning now. You have different works, right? By Alberto, by Colette. And then you have a table of contents, which you have a message from the authors, introduction, how to work with the deck, and then all of the cards. We have 64 of them, and then about the artist and the authors. So here you've got a message from the authors, kind of saying you have like all their signature here, but it's just explaining the inspiration, where the deck came from, the idea, where the idea came from, and how they worked together. Here's the introduction. I guess it's really a bit more of talking about the deck, obviously. Law of synchronicity, double motion of the oracle, which this I found interesting because it explains, actually here it explains it as well. But it says here, double motion, an oracle is by nature in motion. The symbols are alive. So it explains to you that the cards, they have magic in them, meaning they have the symbols that are on here, the ideas and the words and the energy that are on each card. If you guys ever worked with crystals, we all know that crystals have a magic in them, right? They emit an energy. Decks are the same way. Each card also emits an energy like crystals, and that's kind of what they explain here. And then we go into how to work with this deck, and we'll look at what everything says here, but they all have essence, invitation, and medicine. The essence is pretty much the essence of the card, explaining what the card is about. The invitation you read when the card comes upright, and the medicine you read when the card comes in reverse. So I thought that was really interesting. And then you have how to ask a question, 1 card, 3 card, 4 card, right? The 4 corners, and then you have the cards. And here's how they all look. You have your black and white depiction, and then you have essence, invitation, medicine. Essence is for, like I said, the card. Invitation, upright. The medicine is in reverse. And it's like that for all of them. The good thing is that they are in alphabetical order and in numerical order. So I love that. It just makes it super an organized book. Some other decks don't do that. So it just makes it really organized and perfect, easy. It makes it easy for you to find your card, like your message when you're pulling. All right, so let's look at the deck. Here we go. We have another ribbon here, and here are the backs. Really beautiful. It comes with this symbol that kind of looks like sticks, which actually I think is quite beautiful. And I do love this this art on the back as well. Okay. Now, they are not in order. Actually, give me 1 second. Okay, so I put them in order. I think that'll make it easier for us. So here is the back. They actually feel really good. They're matte finish, as you can see, on the front and the back, borderless. And there's a really good finish to it. The cards are pretty flexible, but the cardstock is really good. Hay House usually does really good cardstock. Okay, so I will be showing you guys all 64. If you don't want to see all of them, you can jump around, you can skip ahead, or you can skip this part altogether. But I just put them in order, and I will show you all of them. So here we go. We have number 1, the Ancient Ones. This is actually one of the cards that drew me to this deck. It's just so beautiful, and I love the idea of the Ancient Ones. Of course, the book explains more, but to me, it just feels like I'm connecting with ancient civilizations, ancient gods and goddesses, and my ancient ancestors. So I love that. We've got the Andean cross. We have the arrow. I think that's pretty common, right, in shamanic decks. The Beauty Way. So this one and this next one, the Beloved, I feel like they perhaps deviate a little bit from the shaman idea, right, or the shamanic idea. But I still like it because the Beloved, the idea of love, the idea of connection, the idea of unity, has been around for all civilizations, right? Since the beginning of time, I believe that love, the idea of love, has been around. So I like that these two are here because it adds to perhaps, I just feel like I can use this deck fully and like do a full reading with it versus like needing to get other decks to supplement. Although this deck is a great supplement. Oh, this is beautiful. You know, this deck is actually a great supplement for if you're using tarot. I'm a tarot reader, so I love tarot, and I also love layering Oracle in. So as you can see, the art is very textured. It's kind of like the word that I use. I love that the council is number 11. To me, 11 is like the number of, I guess, the council, the number of Archangel Metatron, the number of the angels, the number of Ascended Masters. I know they have like different numbers, but to me, 11 is like the portal, is like the entrance way to the council. So I love that. We also have animals, which I really like. We've got the coyote, but what I mean by textured is, so you have the coyote, but it's not just a coyote. There's like all these, let's get closer. There's all these different textures, right? Here's like the moon or the sun, we're not sure. Here's some feathers, and here's like there's like some layers on top, which I find that it just enriches the art. Here's the crow. I love this card, it's really beautiful. The curse. And here you see like there's a painting over the mouth, right? I know in some in indigenous traditions, they use that face painting. We've got the drum. The eagle, which I think is also pretty common in Native American traditions. Earth. The Earth Keeper. The element of fire. The flow. Now here's also what I like about this deck, and when I first started talking about it, how the word shaman is not just reserved for Native Americans. This headpiece here looks more Asian, right? I'm not sure where, if it's Malaysia or something. I'm not gonna say a specific thing before I get it wrong, and I'm sure I will. But it looks more Asian, right? So it brings in the energy of Native Asian shamans. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And that's why I like this deck as well. It really opens up the world of shamanism. I feel like it does. Perhaps for you it doesn't, you have a different opinion about it, that's okay. I just feel like it does for me. But also I'm learning. I got this deck also to learn a little bit more about shamanism, really to also connect more with my ancestors, to connect more with nature and nature spirits. Speaking of nature spirits, we've got the Holy Mountain. Beautiful hummingbird. The hunter. The jaguar. I love this animal. I had a dream about this animal a few times actually. The journey. Lightning. The lower world. The luminous warrior. I feel like, the lower world, for example, or the ghost dance or something, or even this one, the giveaway. I feel like these are cards that you perhaps would need the book a little bit more. I didn't know what I've studied a little bit of shamanism, like I said, so I know what the lower world, the middle world, the upper world are. But for somebody who doesn't, and I remember when I first started learning, when I heard about the lower world, I was like, oh, that's hell. That's hell. And it's like, oh, no, it's not. It's not at all to do with the idea of hell. So, but in my mind, that's where my mind went, right? The lower world, oh, it must be like hell because it's low, right? And here's the middle world, which is us, the earth. So if you don't know, I definitely recommend reading from the book, because intuitively, your intuition might take you somewhere else that it's not what the shamans intended, what the mystical shaman intended, right? But that was my experience with that word. Pachamama, Mother Nature. Oh, the rainbow, that's so beautiful. We've got the Rainmaker. The rattle. The sacrifice. The seer. The serpent. Did we have... I passed by... Oh no, it's the medicine wheel. I was looking at this snake right here and I was like, wait, did we get a snake before? The smoky mirror. Again, bringing in a little bit of shamanic Asian shamanism, I should say, making it a bit more international. Also, there are some here that have like headdresses, kind of like this one a little bit, that takes me to like Norse shamans. So now we're going to Europe, soul retrieval, that's beautiful. We got the spiral, kind of like the Fibonacci spiral. The staff, also very common in many different shamanic traditions. Standstill. The sun. Did we get the moon before? Yes, so the moon is right here, and then we have the sun. The sweat lodge. I've never been in a sweat lodge. I wonder if it's open to like the public, or if it's more of a like just a native tradition, but I'd be intrigued to experience that. Thunder. The Time Master. This guy reminds me a little bit of like Odin, for example. I don't know, but he does. The Tree of Life. Here we have the upper world. The Vision Quest. The Element of Water. The Wild Woman. Wind. And finally, The Witness. Interesting title. So yeah, these are all the cards for the Mystical Shaman Oracle. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and review of the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Alberto Bioldo, Colette Baron-Reid, Marcela Lobos, and illustrated by Jenna Della Grottaglia. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.